What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and today we're going to get into the brand new Google rankings based upon the search volume for each one of the Democratic candidates that is running. So, who has the most amount of search volume? And with that being said, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning, I appreciate you. It's good to freaking see you. Let's get into it. So, we take all of the search volume across the web, and we search to see who in the United States has searched for these candidates. And then we see who had the most amount of search volume at the 12-month, who had the most at the 90-day, who had the most at 30-day. And then we stack rank them within each one of those time periods, and then we take an average. And the average is 25% of the 12-month, 25% of the 90-day, and 50% of the weight of the score at the end comes from the 30-day, because the most recent days, like the most recent 30 days, hold the most valuable information. Think about what's happened in the last 30 days versus what happened a year ago in terms of the searches online. There's just more relevant information happening. So that's why it's 50% of the overall score. And I put all this together into a spreadsheet and came up with the top candidates of the Google search ranking as of 12/18/2019. Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and then we have a three-way tie between Andrew Yang, Pete Buttigieg, and Tulsi Gabbard. That's interesting. Three-way tie. But let's try to understand and decipher a little bit more of that three-way tie to see if we can get a better idea of like what's happening. First of all, let's take a look at the macro trends before we dive any deeper. We can see that it looks like, I like to look back over like a period of, because we've been doing these for a while. And I'd love to hear what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. If you use the hashtag STOLT, we get into a Q&A section in a minute where we actually search on my YouTube analytics for hashtag STOLT, and your comments can come up and we can actually talk about them at the end of these shows. So looks like Pete's increased in popularity in terms of interest. Andrew Yang has been kind of up and down, where he most recently moved up 2 spots, which is pretty decent to move up 2 spots on the macro level. Because if you see, a lot of these are single digits changes. So to move up 2 spots, like this was a big move here, because 2 ranking movement doesn't happen a ton since we've been doing these. But we look at this here. Mr. Joe Biden has been gaining ground. So that's interesting. You like him or don't like him, he's at least gaining in terms of interest. People are searching for information around him, which attention is the currency, my friends. Elizabeth Warren lost a spot. Tulsi Gabbard went back. So she was at 3rd, and then she lost 2 spots, and then she just went up to 4. So she's moving back up in terms of popularity. But let's really dive into the guys who are all tied in 4th. So that's Gabbard, Yang, and Pete, to try to see if we can understand where things might be headed. And it doesn't look like these are going to give us a clear indicator, right? Because we have 2 of them getting more popular. Pete and Yang are both got more popular in the most recent 30 days. So if we look at Tulsi, she actually got less popular in terms of search volume over the last 30 days. So if we were to try to glean some information from this, it could potentially be that I would think Tulsi would start to slip and she would no longer be in that top 6 in the running there, because she's losing ground at the same time that the other 2, Andrew Yang and Pete Buttigieg, are gaining ground. So I don't know. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Use the hashtag STOLT, just like Drew did here, and then we can talk about your comment next show. So thank you so much for the comment, Drew. You have been doing these videos for a while, but your level of engagement, views on your channel is low when compared to other fringe political channels. There are YouTubers that support Yang, Sanders, and Gabbard that you could link up with. Are you planning on doing a live stream with any of those guys? Yes, I am definitely. There's a gentleman who has a channel. Fuck, I forgot his thing. Boyce, and he has Mindful Skeptics, a YouTube channel. So I did a podcast with him. Paige, I don't know what her channel name is, but Paige has a It's just her name, I think. I'm gonna have an interview scheduled with her for the 19th. I think I can provide a lot of value to their audiences, to these other channels, because I'm not really doing the same type of commentary that everybody else is doing. What we're doing here is a little bit different, and so I'm trying to do that, but I appreciate the support. So anybody, if you know somebody else who could find value in these videos, right? Like if you don't like waste somebody's time or yourself or any of your time, but if you think of somebody who comes to mind when you're like, oh, I wonder who this person could get some value out of this, right? Then share that with them. If you don't think anybody can come to get value out of it, then just press that thumbs up button. That helps out the channel too. It puts this in front of more people. And the next is Crystal, where she actually comments on that live stream with Paige on Saturday, I think. So if I didn't, or Sunday, I didn't know Paige had a live stream that she did on a regular basis. So if that's the case, I will double check closer to Sunday and try to get on there. Maybe we could do something like a duel something in there and get a little bit going on, but we'll see. The next is from Nathan Purvis. What's good, brother? I know I slaughtered your name last time as well. I've heard a few times that the DNT candidates have until December, late December, to enter the race before they close for new entry. This is kind of interesting. I have a thought in this, but I have no idea, and it's all conjecture. I can't find any official information to back this up, but if it is the case, Hillary has a week or two to announce her late entry. Yes, so there has been rumors. Now, I'm wondering if Hillary does decide to come in to the race. Does she come in before Joe Biden steps out? Do you think Joe Biden's going to leave, or do you think she does it when the last second that she's going to do it? Because in her mind, she could be like, this is the last time I could potentially ever do this. She's already probably in her mid-70s, I think. And she might want the idea or the story that her husband and her were both presidents of the country. That might be a very interesting, compelling story for her that she wants to create, So if that's the case and she decides to run, this could get very interesting very quick. Because we just had Bloomberg enter, and we didn't talk about him much, but he's in these rankings, and he's in 7th just out of the bat. So he had some name recognition already, and so does Hillary. So if that were the case, that could be interesting to see how that plays out. I actually don't know when people can enter up until, I think, the first primary. I have no idea, though, honestly. I don't know why there would be a rule about that, because if somebody's been campaigning for a year and a half straight, somebody enters in halfway through it, they're just at a disadvantage. I feel like, you know what I mean? But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you guys have any Christmas shopping to do or holiday shopping to do and you want to support the channel, there's a link for Amazon in the description, which doesn't cost you anything to use. It just, if you go use my link when you're going to buy something, then I get a little bit of credit from Amazon for you using the link, even though the product costs exactly the same. It just means Amazon gets a little bit less of it. So that help the channel out, or share the video, press that thumbs up button, subscribe to see future videos, and press the little bell notification. Peace.